Hello viewers, welcome to Global Business Line. Today we have with us Harshita Jain, Director at Consulting Engineers Group Limited. Harshita is playing a very important role in taking CEG to international market. But we all know that journey is not easy. So let's welcome Harshita. Harshita, welcome to Global Business Line.
Hello, everyone. I'm really glad to be here. And thank you, Mr. Kunal, for inviting me to be at this platform. Thank you so much. Really looking forward for this interaction.
Harshita, tell our viewers about your profile.
Um, I think I will start at the basics, right from the starting of my career. I come from a family of civil engineers and entrepreneurs, and they exposed me to the world of business and infrastructure since my childhood. It was very natural for me, to get into the same field of civil engineering, infrastructure. Dinner conversations used to be around this bridge is being built or this, highways being built, how we are, tackling the problems and everything. So, following their footsteps, I did my civil engineering from University of Bath, UK, and then executive management course from London School of Economics. I joined CEG in 2014 as a young civil engineer, wishing to contribute towards nation building and taking CEG to new heights. CEG, or Consulting Engineers Group, as it is the name, is one of the most reputed infrastructure consultancy company in India, providing services for various fields of infrastructure like metros, highways, railways, urban development, tunnels, water supply, water resources, sanitation, airports, etc. Um, Being a second generation entrepreneur and, with the perseverance, I wanted to achieve great things. I contributed to transform CEG into one of the largest Indian owned transport consulting companies and open its global doors. So we're currently operating from over 52 offices globally with a staff strength of over 1,500. Since 2014, since I joined, CEG has seen exceptional exponential growth and is currently associated with as a consultant with some of the biggest projects in the country, like the Mumbai Ahmedabad High Speed Bullet Train Project, Mumbai Metro, Chennai Metro, Surat Metro, the Nasik Neo Metro, which will be the first in India, Navi Mumbai Metro, Nagpur Metro, Dwarka Expressway, Nagpur Mumbai Super Communication Expressway, and many, many more. The success of CEG has not been limited just to India, but CEG has expanded its global operation in countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, Mozambique, Liberia, Nepal, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Zambia, and etc.
Infrastructure is a crucial industry that helps all other interconnected industries flourish in the market. How you have started your career in infrastructure consultancy?
Like I said, infrastructure and civil engineering have been, formed a major part of my childhood. My parents, Mr. Vishwas Jain, who is the founder MD of CEG, is a civil engineer. My mother is a PhD in civil engineering. She was the first woman of Rajasthan to do a PhD in engineering, civil engineering. Then my sister is also a civil engineer. So it was very natural for me to step into this and civil engineering domain and seeing, what my father and my mother has already built on. I wanted to contribute to it more and, take CEG to newer heights.
Infrastructure consultancy is a niche sector that has male dominance. How did you make your way to infrastructure consultancy? What are the challenges and what have you sacrificed along the way? Have you experienced any barriers in the journey to becoming a leader?
Okay. So, yeah, we generally hear the term that engineering is a man's domain. This represents a very, predominant social norm which expect women to first and foremost look after their homes and their careers can take a backseat. You know, Ever since a childhood, it goes as a subconscious decision in our mind. We give dolls and Barbie dolls to the girls, while we give building blocks to the boys. So we're reinforced with the deep rooted belief, since an early age, that building something is a boys club and the girls are not a part of it. But I've been very lucky in this regard. Me and my sister have always been taught to follow our passion rather than thinking, oh, I won't be able to do this because I'm a girl. you
Yes.
know so in I feel in order to increase the women participation in engineering, we need to start consciously taking decisions which do not discriminate between girls and boys right from a childhood.
Yeah.
And coming to the second part of your question regarding leadership, so India is a country with the highest percentage of family run businesses.
Mhm.
Having an already established company surely gave me a great platform to work. However, my aim was, not to be known as the owner's daughter, rather I always wanted to be known by my work, and, people to accept me as a leader of their own free will. To achieve this, I, started from the scratch, learned the nitty gritty of the work, and took one step each day. I didn't just put myself above everyone one day and then, you need to follow all my decisions and everything. I have a never ending desire to learn, and I think that has helped me evolve as a person. And I always stay grounded. So I initially worked as an apprentice in CEG and gradually worked my way up. And I think my practical experience so far has taught me that businesses and, being a leader does not purely mean, you need to earn more money, but it is a blend of individual aims, obstacles, conviction, failures, commitment, teamwork, and then finally triumph. So for me, being a leader just does not mean an individualistic growth for me, rather than how many more leaders that I can create that can work with the same passion. I feel responsible towards my employees to find them new and challenging work, and no employee should feel stagnated in their careers and should have an opportunity to grow and excel. You also asked me about the challenges and the struggles that I have faced over the course of my career. I feel the sacrifice and barriers are just a mindset that limits us. As long as you work with a positive mindset and love what you do, these words won't become a hurdle. A very interesting story that I would like to share. My father always say to me that there's no word struggle in my dictionary. He says, if what if you're riding on a bicycle and your cycle has got a puncture,
Mhm.
so what would you do? You would just repair it and then keep on going. This is not a struggle, this is just a part of your life. So
Yeah.
just delete the word struggle and challenges, take on whatever that is coming, and just do it with whole conviction and passion, and you there won't be any stopping. You will achieve great things.
Definitely. And one more thing, Ashita, when any person heard about it's a family-run business, they think that it's a cake for them. Okay, but they don't know that there is a much pressure on the, on the kids, that you have to, you have to compete with that leadership in future.
Yes,
That is already in
yes.
your house also.
Yes, definitely. So my mom is also an entrepreneur. She runs her own um, company called CEG Test House and Research Center Private Limited. That is one of its kind engineering investigation company laboratory. And my father is CEG's founder MD. So I think it added just an extra pressure for me, but also surely gave me a great platform and a learning step how I can do great things while staying very grounded.
The government has planned large outlays as investments in the near future to improve India's infrastructure. How do you see the sector of infrastructure consultancy in the future?
um, in any developing country, investment in the infrastructure and construction is directly proportional to the GDP growth. To achieve this 5 trillion economy in India, infrastructure will be one of the most highest contributor.
Mhm.
Government announced the national infrastructure pipeline, and have identified projects of over 110 lakh crores in the next 5 years. So, CEG firmly stands with the policy of providing best in the class services locally through Make in India and drastically reducing the country's dependency on important services. Like I said, that we are a part of this Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed bullet train project, which is we are doing this in the JV of Tata Consulting Engineers, and it's a wholly Make in India project.
So that's a
Um,
Hyperloop one, right? Or
Not the Hyperloop, the bullet train project. Have you heard of this Mumbai to Ahmedabad, the high-speed bullet train?
yes, but there's one more project, right? That is the same route.
Yes, the
Hyperloop is
Hyperloop.
also there.
Yes, so CEG is one of the only company in India who has a person nominated at the government level in the Hyperloop Committee of India. You know, where should the
Okay.
Hyperloop be
Mm,
making the whole policies? So
okay.
we have an expert in that Hyperloop committee also.
Okay.
So that is, that we are focusing on Make in India. So why not, promote our expertise and our self-reliance
Mhm.
to reduce the country's dependency on, foreign MNCs and everything.
That's
So
really great.
I just want to say that we're fully supportive of this government of India's initiative, and we're doing our best to contribute to the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan.
Mhm.
And CEG, today is associated with projects with an aggregate construction cost of over 2.5 lakh crores. So, which is a very huge sum and is pioneer India to be self-reliant in the infrastructure consultancy sector. And we are contributing for all key engineering and technological developments in the country, and we just wish that we can make India self-reliant, and then we can export our services to the other countries rather than importing the services.
Definitely. What aspects of CEG Group do you think are working in its favor? And what aspect would you like seen to be improved?
um, so CAG's value proposition has always been these four core principles, that is ethics, integrity, timely delivery, and quality,
Mhm.
which forms the foundation of the company. We understand that each project is unique its own way, and each client is different with a different set of requirements from it. So we work on the motto of accelerating the development of any project by engineering the client's vision, which is also a tagline, um, that we engineer the client's vision. We work very hard to keep the client satisfaction as a topmost priority. We have the quality is our main focus. So we have also been awarded by the Prime Minister of India for the best quality in the MSME sector of the country, um, by the Bureau of Indian Standards for being the best quality service provider in the country. We have been consecutively thrice now. We have been being awarded the Dun and Bradstreet Best Professional Services Company of the country. So, as you can see, quality is the core heart of our foundation of our company. Apart from that, we truly believe in the power of the human resources and treat employees are as the most treasured asset and the power of our companies. We would be nothing if it was not for them. So we focus greatly on skill development and providing a wholesome environment, both professionally and personally. CG has remained debt-free company and a profit-making company since inception, which shows its financial strength and management. Having said this, I feel perfection is a road and not a destination, and there's always room for improvements. We continuously strive to make things better in every aspect of the company, from strategy to financial management, project management, human resources, bringing in the innovation, digital technology, etc.
What is your personal vision for the CEG Group, and where do you see it in 5 years? in the terms of revenue and brand?
So, CEG today is grown to be a brand in the transportation sector and is recognized as a synonym for its quality. And we have been continuously growing and expanding in other sectors of infrastructure and are currently focusing on expanding our businesses in sectors like ports, power, sustainable environment, climate resilience, building information modeling in the coming years, while at the same time focusing on incorporating the latest technologies from all around the world. We're also expanding our footprint globally in the infrastructure field and are looking forward for an acquisition for international organization, preferably from Europe. So, in terms of revenue, we have been witnessing an exponential growth during the last few years and are expecting a 25% year on year growth in terms of our revenue in the next 5 years.
What do you think starting an infrastructure industry startup now has more potential, and how much time it will take to be like CEG Group?
You know, being a 5 trillion economy and the government's push on infrastructure, starting an infrastructure consultancy startup now definitely has great opportunities to grow. Proactive action in the infrastructure from government across the world is spurring its growth and fostering the widespread arena for new entrepreneurs. Having said this, infrastructure consultancy is a sector that works on the past experiences worldwide and how well the company has delivered its previous projects. So, in simpler terms, it works on an aggregate model where you complete smaller projects and the experience of those projects qualifies you to work on the bigger projects. But this industry gives an assured income right from the start and give you a steady income over the years. However, being a unicorn would take a considerable time. So, but not to deter anyone, infrastructure consultancy is a very flourishing market and gives an ample of opportunities to grow and achieve great heights.
Any guidance you would like to provide to others, particularly women who wish to work in the infrastructure industry?
Um, my advice to all the aspiring women engineers that have faith in yourself and just never give up on your dreams. Um, if we are passionate and talented enough to bring a change, nothing can stop you. Age and gender do not define our chances at a success, but we as an individual do. If I have in my mindset that I won't be able to do this only because I'm a girl, then probably I would fail. But if I just think I can do it regardless of anything, I would succeed all the time. Also, in my opinion, that learning and growth go hand in hand. Therefore, it is very essential for us to keep updating on the knowledge and skills to carve a niche for ourselves. Um, Currently, the world is going through this monumental shift, and people are opening up and willing to have these tough conversations about diversity. But I feel that women need to be their own advocates and remember that no one can stand up for ourselves. Women need to verbalize what we need and what we deserve. Engineering does not discriminate between the males and the female. It is us as in society which discriminates. So the questions that the women engineers should ask is not who is going to let me, but who is going to stop me.
That's really great. So, Harshita, on last note, any message for about Wonder Woman magazine?
I think it is a great platform that you have, focusing on the future leaders and providing bringing out such women and a very well established informative magazine focusing on women leaders so that if they're focused in the limelight, then they can also create more leaders, create more women leaders, and maybe become a role model for the other people also.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Harshita, for your time. I hope
Thank
this
you.
interview will, give light to the women who are working on the infrastructure industry, or they are a civil engineer by choice, or they want to flourish their own career. So thank you so much for your time, and all the best for the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much.